Will there be competition for Jermar Jefferson? Could Quentin Dunbar take over Amani Aruwariye? Jeffrey Okudah potentially not start? And Ifeatu Melifonwu, could he be a potential starter for safety for the Detroit Lions? We're going to talk about it.
It's LeGarrette Blount here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Hey, Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and the YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. We talk all things Detroit Lions, news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, we're getting all into a little bit of rumors over some article I read by Jeff Risdon of Lions Wire talking about the Lions secondary and a little bit of Jermar Jefferson when it comes to competition. But before we get into that, if you are not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button. A little over 50 away now, folks, to get to 14,000 subscribers. And if you can help get there, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. It's free to do so. And let's get the likes up in this video to 150 likes. With your help, I know it can get done. Let's jump into it. Let's get into Ifeatu Melifonwu. Per the report by Jeff Risdon, he made an article. Again, go check it out. He's potentially a chance for Ify to become the starting safety for the Lions. Now, we've talked about this throughout the offseason because the lack of depth at the safety position. Could they potentially decide to train him on that side of the football? And we all kind of wanted that to occur because if you look at the safety position with Tracy Walker, he was up and down, rookie year up, last year down, but there's a potential for him to actually have a bounce-back year. But if you look at Will Harris, man, the potential just seems very difficult for that. So the Lions went and drafted Melifonwu in the 4th round. Yes, he is a cornerback, but potentially could play safety. The guy could play on the outside. He can play a nickel corner. He can play at safety. He's big at 6'2", so we all wondered that. Subscribe. Let's get to 14,000 subscribers. With your help, it can get done, and we're about 50 away. So let's do this thing. Let's get to 14K before the regular season and start off this season with a bang. Now, it definitely looks like there's a possibility for that to occur, and I think that's great news for the Lions. When you have a player who is multi-dimensional, such as Ifeatu Melifonwu, it's important to utilize his skill set wherever it can be on a young team, and we do have a lot of players when it comes to cornerback position, so with the lack of depth at safety, it makes sense. Go ahead and train him there, and I'm fully on board with that scenario. Having a young guy with his size, it could potentially change the dynamic in the back end. I think immediately he could be better than Will Harris, and that will make the Lions safety position a little bit better for 2021. And again, when you're a transition, why not throw him out there and see what he can do? His ceiling is much higher, and I would love to see it. So that is some good rumor flying around. Another situation potentially by Jeff stating that Jeffrey Okudah could get supplanted as a starter. Now, he does think this is more of an unlikely chance, and I concur with that sentiment. I think this is just, it seems extremely unlikely when you invest a 3rd overall draft pick in Jeffrey Okudah. When you look at his skills, he is very fast. He is sideline to sideline. We've seen when it comes to Aaron Glenn that he's getting a new persona about himself. He's showing a little bit more confidence. He's going to work with him. Don't worry about where you're drafted. Just worry about getting better day in and day out, and I think that's going to happen. He will be a starter in my opinion, so I don't believe he's going to get supplanted. But if he does face plant, I guess it's very possible. Still, I think he is going to be elevated this year. I think he's going to grow compared to last year. Last year was an absolutely atrocious for all the players on defense, especially young cornerback, where it's extremely difficult to learn that position very quickly. Put in the situation of injury, pandemic year, bad scheme, terrible coaching, you get the results of what you've seen. And so I expect him to improve and that not be the case where he's not a starter. Amani Aruwariye getting supplanted by Quentin Dunbar. This one's interesting to me because I feel like when it comes to Imani coming into his third year, this is the make or break year for young cornerbacks. Generally, you give them 3 years. This will be his third year. So I want to see him on the field. I want to see what he can do for his young self. I would like to see the younger players get better for a football team. That is exactly what you want to see. You want to see your draft picks work out. That's how you build a football team. But it could be possible where he gets passed up and a veteran such as a Quentin Dunbar or maybe somebody else could win out the job. This is going to be really fun to see in training camp, watching Imani versus Quentin Dunbar versus anybody else to take out the outside. Maybe Ifeatu Melifonwu, we'll see. Smash that like button. Let's get to 150 likes in this video. The more likes we get, the more chance that it gets out there. Like. It's free to do so, and we can beat the legacy media by one click at a time. But I still give the edge here to Amani Aruwariye because he has improved every single year. And again, just like all the defensive players last year, when you look of the situations they were in, you got to kind of give it a little bit of a asterisk on last season when it comes to some performances because the situation was a disaster. Bring in Aaron Glenn, and I think it's going to improve a little bit. But we're going to be watching this one really closely. This is definitely a training camp battle. I'm going to monitor with a microscope. Who is going to get that number 2 job? Will it be the young guy or will it be the veteran? Speaking of veteran, Quentin Dunbar was brought in here to compete. No doubt about it, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Could Quentin Dunbar eventually pass up Imani and be the number 2? Well, when you do have a young secondary like the Detroit Lions do have, it is always important to have a veteran in there to help guide these young players. And it makes sense that they bring in Quentin to do such as that. He does bring a pedigree of leadership to this Lions back end, and I think that's important to help these people grow. With that said, I still want to see the younger talent ahead, but if he is the better player, he's performing the best, you must go ahead and put the best players on the field to get a better performance. I don't want to see people put in positions just because of their draft spot, just because of their age. I want to see the best 11 on the field for this defense because I want to see this team compete and give the best they can on the field every single Sunday. Speaking of competition, will Jermar Jefferson have competition for the number 3 running back for the Detroit Lions? We don't have Kerryon Johnson anymore. We already know who's 1 and 2 with Swift and Williams. Since there's not another competition with bringing in a Todd Gurley as of now, will it just be him? Well, let's look at the depth here. You have Dedrick Mills and Mike Warren right now. So looks to me, Jermar Jefferson is almost handed this spot. It's very possible another guy could supplant him, but if the Lions don't bring in a veteran running back or somebody else, a younger player who potentially gets cut from another football team, it looks like Jermar Jefferson is the guy. I'm still not saying that's the case. I do still believe they could bring in a Todd Gurley for this position, but right now, he looks safe. But we still want to see competition for all the players. That's how you get the best out of everyone you can get is competition and just let the best players play and play out the camp battles, no favoritism. So this will be fun to see as the weeks come on if there is more individuals that come in and compete for number 3. We do have the One Pride podcast on my channel tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. EST. We're going to have a panel on there. It's going to be fun, and we're going to take all your questions. We're going to get into the latest news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions. Anything that happens will be live, and if you got questions, let us know. Also, I got videos dropping literally every single day sporadically. It could be earlier in the morning. It could be later at night. We don't know because I do breaking news and everything with Lions regarding videos. So you got to hit that notification bell and subscribe, because if you don't do it, you're going to miss out on that content. Also on Sunday, live at 11 in the morning, more of a Q&A show, having a good time, sitting back and answering your questions.